Alright, hello and welcome to my first and probably only summoning video. Normally I just stream summoner duels, but today we're going to be pulling for Spring Sylvain, so honestly, let's just jump right into it. We'll start with our first free summon. Just sniping for blues unless we can't, then we'll go for Chloe, but like I said, it's my first summoning video, so bear with me. Okay, this is a good start. Oh, it's a 5-star Mira. That's sick. Great free-to-play unit. She gives bonus doubler to allies within 2 spaces of her target, which is sick. I think. Okay, so no blue this time. I was pulling for Valentine's Alm earlier in the week, and I think I got almost as many Rudolph as I did Alm by sniping. Hopefully we have better luck than that this time. Okay, 2 blue, not bad. I have some questions here from some people in my Discord. I should probably stop skipping home, like the point of the summoning video. But yeah, I can answer some of those while we click on these orbs. And if you want me to do another one of these, you can leave a question down below, and maybe I'll. Oh, let's go! Already Sylvain. Sick. Oh, that's fast. Okay. A speed. I'll take it for sure. He has a super boon in attack, so I think I prefer that, but I'm probably gonna send it anyway, so we'll see. Oh, 3 blue this time. But yeah, if you have any questions you want me to answer next time, leave them down in the comments. Or you can join my Discord and leave them there. Works too. Okay, another Mira. That's sick. I don't know how much the merges will matter on her, but the flat damage reduction based on res is probably like pretty good reason to merge her up, you know? Alright, so question number 1 from Billy on Discord. He asks, how's your day been? And to that I respond, working a real job sucks. I woke up late, so that meant I got out of work late, and then I made dinner and I ate, and now it's 8 p.m. So that's how my day's been. Next up, we have a question from Winter. He asks, is Edelgard a good character? What about a good person? Was there any other option for her? And I feel like this is a really hard question because it's been too long. It's been... when did Three Houses come out? Like 2020? I haven't played Edelgard's story since then. Sure, but I haven't played a whole lot of Three Houses in general since like 2021 maybe was when I was last like really into it. But from what I remember, I would say she was a good character. I feel like when I first played through it, I didn't really understand why they couldn't talk it out more, like why there had to just be a full-blown war. But I also played Blue Lions first, so that might. But I feel like in playing through her route, you get a much better picture painted of the kind of person she is and why her course of action was necessary to her. But when it comes to was she a good character, I would say yes. I feel like she was like really great foil for Dimitri and just like Black Eagles and Blue Lions in general. I feel like with Edelgard's whole thing being like rest are the problem, the Black Eagles in general didn't really show that in the best way, whereas with the Blue Lions you have Sylvain, who was like tortured by his brother for having a crest and brother not having one, and then Ingrid, who's being like forced to be married off to someone else because she has a crest, and just a lot more examples of people's lives who are actively being made worse because of the societal pressure and the authority responsibility forced onto people that because of crests. It was just a lot more present in the Blue Lions, I felt like, than it was in the Black Eagles. So, like, was there any other option for her? I think for her, no. I think that because of who she was as a person, convictions were, like, strong. She wouldn't be in the middle on anything. It's either her way or no way. And then even if she didn't get her exact outcome, then hopefully, like, her movement would cause some sort of... Which, honestly, I don't think it does, right? Like, end of Blue Lions, everything, like, it has been restored. Everything's back to normal. So that's kind of fun, honestly. But yeah, I feel like Edelgard's a very complex character. Is she a good character? Well, is she a good character? Yes. Is she a good person? A lot more debatable. I think there's a lot of nuance there, though. Alright, our next question will be from Agent in the Discord. They say, you prefer yourself... You prefer... that. Jeez, how many Mira is this? I haven't even been keeping track. I would like some more Sylvain now, please. Although 3 5-stars and 13 orbs, that's not for 13 summons. Okay. Alright, so Agent's question is, do you prefer self-insert protagonists, or do you want a protagonist with their own defined character? Any series, not necessarily Fire Emblem. And I feel like it's easier to answer this in the context of Fire Emblem. Maybe I'll think about some other games after I give like my base stance. I would say I feel like the main characters are a lot more compelling when they're not your avatar. I think it's fine when you have like some input on how they respond to things, like maybe the protagonist in Persona, who's also still kind of like a silent protag, but have like a baseline of they are, I guess. Which I guess some of the Fire Emblem Lords do too, but I think at that point it really just comes down to writing. Some that like Orin definitely suffered from like, whereas Byleth I think suffered from, honestly I almost feel like Byleth suffered from not being voiced despite having a voice actor, but I don't know. I don't have near as many complaints character-wise with like the protags that are not avatars, that are not like silent. They're their own character, and you're just like following them through their story. Alm is just one of my favorite protags, Alm and Celica. So I feel like the extreme opposite of that end would be like Baldur's Gate, where you literally are like you make the main character and you choose everything that they decide to do. And your main character is not like limited by story constraints to the same extent, because it's much more open. It's not like you get to pick the flavor of the story. Like it's going to be the same story no matter what. You just get to choose like small little dialogue things here and there. It's crazy. You get to literally make a whole character that chooses how the story goes entirely. So I think that having like the voiceless lords in the middle is kind of like worse in almost every way than just having like fully autonomous main character. Like one that just is their own character, you know? And I feel like that opinion would probably be consistent across games. I guess maybe Persona is a little different. Okay, I need to check how many I have. This is actually ridiculous. 7 Mirabilis, by the way. But I think with the Persona series, it falls into a category maybe a little similar to Baldur's Gate, just because of how much control you have over what they do in their day-to-day life. But yeah, I would say it kind of varies, and it also depends heavily on the writing. Our next question though is from Jalen. Jalen wants to know, has your taste in games always been pretty cerebral, like strategy games and RPGs that you stream now? And what got me into gaming? Let's see. Let's start with what got me into gaming. I would say it was pretty much because of my family. Like my earliest memories with gaming was when I would go to my cousins, they would let me play their Game Boy. Not Game Boy Color, like the original Game Boy. I would just play like random games on that. And then we also had what me and my sister called a Sega, which I'm pretty sure was a SNES. But we don't have it anymore, so honestly I'm not like positive. And we just have like a million games for that for whatever reason. Oh, let's go, another Sylvain. Okay. We have 2 Sylvains, 7 Mirabilis. Another plus speed. But yeah, I guess when I was a kid, I mostly played, like... Honestly, I played whatever. On the SNES, we had, like, a bunch of... like, shoot-em-ups. Like, side-scrollers with guns or whatever. Or, like, kicking and fighting. And then, obviously, Sonic. We played so much Sonic on that. But that led me... Like, I think playing my cousin's Game Boy led to me getting their copy of Red when I got my own Game Boy Color. Or I think I got a Game Boy Advance. My sister had a Game Boy Color that I would play. But yeah, I got pretty into Pokemon. That kind of like dictated a lot of games that I played for a while. I didn't actually get into Fire Emblem until high school. Up until that point... Sorry, Finn is being no need. Yeah, I would say a lot of the games that I played weren't particularly cerebral. It was a lot of like Pokemon and Sonic, like Sonic Adventure Battle 2 I played a lot. And Smash. I played a lot of Smash. I grew up with like the Smash 64. I never actually had a GameCube, so I skipped Melee. Controversial. Blame my parents. I mean, my neighbor had a GameCube that I would play on a lot. It never really, like, Melee didn't stick like 64 did. Like, a lot of people can't play Smash 64. It feels like they're in like, their feet are glued to the ground or something. Whereas like, that's how I feel in Melee. I'm like, well, how do I literally move? But yeah, I played a lot of 64, a lot of Brawl, and then in Smash 4 I got into like playing competitively. I kind of stopped going to tournaments or anything at COVID, so that was unfortunate. Every once in a while I like think about it still, but I just don't think I have time to like go to Smash tournaments and have to take care of Finn, so it's like, guess we'll see if we can get a Fram here. Not that I particularly want one, but it wouldn't be bad to have. Oh, I was also really into like Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, it was mostly Nintendo games and then like some PlayStation games, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Kingdom Hearts. Played literally all of them. So I feel like it was maybe more determined by like story or the characters. And then honestly, sometimes even just like the desire to beat the game was what got me to play certain games. I played them because I wanted to win. I don't know. I didn't really like think about it growing up. I just played what was fun, you know? Let's see. We have honestly around low on questions. So again, either leave some comments down below or join the Discord to ask some questions. It should also be in the description. So be sick. Um, this is another question, a few questions from Winter, who asks, who's objectively the most conventionally attractive Fire Emblem character, and why is it Hans? Interesting, conclusion to come to. Like, I feel like I can't say a whole lot, given the banner that I'm pulling on, and, like, I have a bit of a biased answer here. I would say, objectively, I feel like it has to be one of the dancers, right? It's like, they're literally rejuvenating people with their performances, which are, I'm assuming, only enhanced by their looks, you know? So, I mean, personally, my favorite dancer is probably Olivia. But is she the most conventionally attractive? No, I think you're onto something. Let's go with Hans. I think it's Hans. All right, their next question is, what are my thoughts on the weapon triangle? Does it add more depth to your strategy, or does it actually limit your options by forcing certain units a certain weapon type? Certain weapon types to certain points on the map. I really like both, like, I'd say I really like when they mix up whether or not the weapon trial's in the game. One of my favorite things about Fire Emblem in general is the fact that, like, none of the games are exactly the same. There's always mechanics that differ between all of them. So, like, learning the different mechanics and how they interact and what's new and what's the same, I think is really cool. So I think it's interesting when, like, in Three Houses, they took out the weapon triangle, but then they added skills that basically replaced it. I feel like it makes more sense to have the weapon triangle usually. Like, if a new Fire Emblem game gets made, I expect the weapon triangle to be in it. That's not to say that I would be mad if it didn't have it, you know. I think it's just another unique part of the game to play around, I guess. Add more depth to the strategy. I would say it does, because in a way, it like discourages the idea of just having like an omni tank, like one unit that you just run through the entire game with. Or like it forces you to utilize more of your options to an extent. I know, like, in some games, the weapon triangle is more of a suggestion, or it's more of a axes are garbage, lances are usable, and swords are the best at Fire Emblem 4, but I would say overall it's probably, like, better for the game strategy-wise. And their last question. What's the best way to balance magic in Fire Emblem games without moving their 1-2 range utility? And I feel like a lot of this comes down to what enemies there are in the game, which honestly is kind of similar for the weapon triangle thing. Like, one of the reasons that swords are so good FE4, not only because they're so light and they give you so much avoid and hit, and they also have weapons that have like might equaling that of some axes, is that like there's so many like minions, basically, like lackeys. Like, the maps are just like full of axes. There's almost no lances and swords comparatively, so it just makes swords like stand out that much more. We will be using our free spark on Sylvain. Probably would have been a good idea to use it on Chloe, but you know what? I have Hinoka. I don't really care. It's fine. So I would say the same is the case for magical units. Not only what kind of enemies there are in the game, like, for example, I'm playing through Thracia. There's a lot of armors and not a whole lot of mages on my team, so that just makes mages like currently more useful than my 5th sword cav that I get or whatever, or like 3rd axe cav. But say if there was like more units that had higher res in that game, or also the fact that magic and res are one stat, I think is pretty good for them. And like in Gen 1 of Pokemon, when special was just one stat, it made all of like the special attacking mons just like better. But I'd say it also comes down to the units themselves, right? Like I feel like magic units are designed in a way where they can counterattack at one range, but usually you do not want them to. Like dodge tanks are fun. That's the thing with swords too, right? Swords are not usually viewed as a good class because they're usually one range locked. So I think it's fine that certain classes have current advantages over others. And I mean, if you think about like the units that most people think are broken, it's usually not like the mages themselves. It's either like units with crazy mobility, as in flyers or calves, or it's not the staff units themselves, but the stabs that they get, such as... Alright, now I feel like it's been a minute since we've gotten anything, so... Yeah, it'd be pretty cool if we could get another Sylvain to anything, I guess. And even a while since we've seen Rebelus. Okay, we got 3 orbs here. What was I saying about mages? I also think it's interesting when they include like the weapon triangle for the mages. Whether it's like the anima triangle or like light, dark, and anima. Again, I don't know if any one design is better than the other, but I just think it's fun when they take mechanics that we already know, or even just like introducing something entirely new. Oh, let's go, another Sylvain. Sick. That's 4 now. I think I'm hoping to get him at like +5. +5 would be sick. Okay, it's just a rod. Alright, that's all the questions that I have from the Discord. Let's talk about how much I hate Duo Leon. Let's talk about how annoying that unit is. It's just like unfun, you know? You're playing Summoner duels, you're up against this other team. Oh, they have Leon. It can kill literally any unit you have. That's crazy. Oh, they have the max range that any unit can have in this game. And they can kill any unit in the game, and they can end the turn of at least one more unit when they do so. That's crazy. Oh, he also gets Kanto 1 for free? Who would have thought? Alright, that was my rant about Duel. Like, I get it. You're playing Summoner duels, you're trying to win. It's just not fun, though. And, like, I've used him. I have. But now that I've been using teams that don't have him, I just don't think I'll ever use him again. I think principle. I think I'm gonna try and do SDR this weekend. Try and do it with one of my Ulm teams. And then if I start to lose a few times, then maybe I'll use my Cav team, but I think even then I'm gonna use a different unit. Honestly, I might use Sylvain. I think Sylvain could be broken on this map, as any Cav team would be. But I think, like, anytime Ira plus him as the captain with Rom and Duo Dogger, or not, One Tribe Dogger. Okay, our 8th Mirabilis. And then, I don't know, like, maybe a Legendary Leaf? I think Legendary Leaf actually kind of cooks. Not gonna lie. I think Tea Time Sigurd actually has potential, but he needs more investment than mine has, which is actually kind of crazy, because mine has a lot. Like, skill-wise, he has a decent amount of investment, but he still can't quite kill Byleth. He can kill Byleth, like, 1v1, but with any amount of support, he can't, which is unfortunate. So I think Leaf probably will. Yeah, I think Sylvain would be pretty good on that team, especially as captain. He can rally like at the front of the train and still be active while extending the range. The alternate option would just be like to just like as a unit on the team with mine. Brave Sella. Oh, let's go. Another one. Another one. This is 5. 5th one. Still no plus attack, but honestly, if we're gonna send anyway, it doesn't matter. We've already got the Ivy that we're not to jinx it, but like it's kind of crazy that we having any non-focus units. Not that I'm complaining at all. No complaints. Just saying. There's a lot of summons to do with no no like generic 5 stars. It's been too long since I've played so many Fire Emblem games, I like don't remember a lot of it. I was watching the Fire Emblem Iceberg video, 5-star Mira. That's sad. I don't need that. What was it saying about the Fire Emblem Iceberg video? It's gone. Who knows? It'll come back to me, maybe. It was a fun video, though. I feel like I knew most of it. The bottom of the iceberg was, like, crackhead theories, which I thought was unique. Like, usually it's information, you know? Facts. This one was like, people think Nils is actually SETI. Maybe. Oh, right, I was watching it, and they were, like, talking about the ending to... Another plus speed, okay. Again, I don't know why I care so much. Or the more I see not plus attack, the more I'm just gonna send his attack. Just don't have that many ascended florets left. I think I have like 2. Hesitant to use them. I think this is a good use though. Using them on your favorites is but they were talking about the ending to, I forget if it was Blazing Blade or Binding Blade, one of them, and I was like, I do not remember. I do not remember any of this. Although I think it was Blazing Blade, right? Because I don't know if I've beaten the game more than once, which I feel like some would argue is not beating the game at all. Because that's just Lin mode, essentially, right? And like maybe Ellie would too. I might have done both of them. I don't know. I don't know when Lin ends and Ellie would. Yeah, they were talking about like maybe it's like the true ending to it too. I truly don't know. But it just made me think of how much I need to like fully play through some Fire Emblem games. Same with talking about like all the Marth makes Shadow Dragon and New Mystery and Mystery. Like I started the remake of Shadow Dragon, and then I just got overwhelmed at how many units there were, so I stopped. But the same thing happened with Revelations, which apparently is like lost media now. Can't download it, and the cartridge that actually has Revelations is like omega rare. Did not make very many of those. I considered playing it, but I think it's on my 3DS that's dead, and the charging port's broken. I can only charge it. There's like the charging port you can place it in that'll charge it. I had one of those, and that still worked, but I don't know where that is. So I might not be able to play that game. Or fortunately, because I've heard, despite being like the true ending, it's still bad. I did, however, somewhat recently finish replaying Awakening on Lunatic for the first time, like actually finishing a Lunatic playthrough, where I mostly used Olivia as like a combat unit, which was fun. I still need to finish my Engage playthrough on, is it maddening or is it just like hard? I don't know, whatever the hardest difficulty. I started it and then I think I got stuck on like the Leaf Paralog for a second. And I opened it back up again one day and it just felt too overwhelming because I don't know what any of my units are doing. Honestly, I almost feel like it would be better for me to restart entirely. I don't remember where I was in that thought, but yeah, honestly, I feel like I would be more likely to keep playing it if I just started a new playthrough. Oh, right, I was saying, it kind of sucks because I beat the DLC maps, and those are, like, kind of hard to do early game. I don't know if you've ever tried to do Iki's map on Maddening, like, really early. It is, it is not easy, from what I remember. There's, like, infinite reinforcements. I feel like that game gets so much crap for how fun it is. I get that the Somniel is like exhausting, too much work for not enough reward, but like, oh man, just like skip it. You know? there is also a lot of like loading screens and menuing that's not intuitive in terms of like emblem rings and all that. I don't know, like the actual gameplay is so unique and fun, and being able to like player phase things and use like the emblem rings on different movement types to have certain effects. It's all just so cool. I feel like some people have like broken it, like they know too much about the game that like it intimidates me. You know, like I don't really know how the what is it? Is it SP skill, like the skill growth works or anything. And I watched like some videos on it, but I don't think I retained any. Like you can use a stat, you can use Micaiah at low level to get like an unbelievable amount of experience. And I don't know. It seems like too much. Just base playing the game, still so fun. Or at least it was, I guess. I guess I don't know if I can say that much, considering I haven't played it in so long, but still. Alright, I think if we can get one more Sylvain, then we can call it. That would be so cool. That would put us at +5. Which I feel like is pretty good odds for like less than 5. Oh, there he is. Ask and you shall receive. Sylvain Jose Gautier. First year, as soon as I heard about the festival. Saw the cute bunnies. Yeah, okay, bud. Whatever you say. Alright, I think we're gonna call it there for now. Alright, so to be honest, after thinking about my polls after I ended the recording, I was like, I feel like I got really lucky. Like I exclusively got 5-star units from the banner focus units. And I'm greedy, so we're gonna keep going. We're gonna use like most, if not the rest of our orbs. Immediately punished. Okay. But I also figured I could talk about the refines that we recently got. I feel like the Dogger refine stood out to me a lot because I'm a big user of Windtried Dogger, and at first I didn't really think it was like quite as good, like maybe a side grade, maybe worse. But then PM1 pointed out that she can use Canto control, which I feel like that's a thing that my Cavlines are often missing, is the ability to stop like Yunaka or Kagero from coming in and leaving. I can usually still out-trade teams like that, but that having that as an option would make things like easier in that matchup, at least. I do think missing like the Kanto one that Windtried Dogger gets, will be a bit annoying, but I do think that it's an option on a team that uses like a green and a green for the +1 movement and the terrain qualification. Oh, got a Marita. Cool. I skipped through the animation, but nice. I feel like I'm always looking for Vital Astra. It's still such a rare skill, despite being gold at this point. Another unit that I was actually really interested in was Annette. I felt like Annette had a lot of potential, and I really like Annette in 3 houses. I feel like her refine actually really captured like her playstyle in the game really well, because I feel like people always talk about her being a rally bot because she gets rally move, which like translated over into this game as well, but she's also like crazy combat unit, which I feel like gets overlooked a lot. So getting a combat refine on this on Crusher, I think was really cool, as well as the fact that it gives her the extra movement, or not the extra movement, the self dance essentially, same thing that like Sylvain has. So I thought that was really cool. I really liked that implementation. Who else got a refine? I feel like it's Gangrel. I feel like his refine was fine. Like the inflicting guard and stat debuffs on closest foes in 5 spaces. I'm going from memory. I'm gonna be so wrong. I feel like it makes sense that he finally got the adaptive damage on the 11 weapon. Kind of weird that that wasn't in the weapon to begin with, but I feel like that's the same for what the Bolt Axe on Libra isn't adaptive damage. I think is just choice that was made. I feel like a lot of people are talking about Mackay's are fine, which, don't get me wrong, I think it's good. I think the global debuff on like any unit that has a good stat is pretty sick. It's just I don't have her, so I don't really care. I fought one of them. Honestly, like Hortensia existing just makes any debuff unit feel almost obsolete. Like, I get that she's also like a really good nuke now. Like she can actually fight. I mean, Hortensia is too. Don't get it twisted. Hortensia's crazy, actually, offensively. But yeah, I don't know. I think I have to see more of her. Maybe I would be saying differently if I had her, but I don't know. It seems fine. Like I'm by no means calling it bad. I feel like it's not as crazy as everyone is saying. Let's sell it. I mean, mine is +10, but maybe I can use his fodder somewhere. And that would be our... oh, actually, second. We started off with Marita. It's the second summoning session. Maybe our luck is running out a little bit. Or I can just keep the... I think this is our 10th one, though, so... I don't think I need any more Parabolas. Thank you. Saros is Refine. I feel like her remix is more noteworthy than her actual Refine. Her Refine gave her another stack of Dragon Wall, Slaying. It fixed her weapon so that it works in both phases now, which I think is just a nice quality of life for her. Like, most units will have no follow-up anyway, so I don't know. Like, I feel like it wouldn't really matter if they gave it to her. And it doesn't make it significantly better than without it. Just a nice little quality of life for people that use her a lot. But yeah, it's not a bad refine. It just doesn't like do anything special. I feel like it makes her like fine as a frontliner. I do think Midori got an interesting refine though. Okay, another Mirabilis. Awesome. Midori, she like cleanses debuffs at the start of turn, which at first I was a little disappointed that it wasn't closer to Prayer that cleanses after start of turn. But I think cleansing at start of turn would be good, because if you're going against like Duo Leon, you can cleanse that on a unit that's already moved. I think it'll cleanse the end your turn effect, which would be nice. Turn his infinite advantage engine into just an insta kill button. And I also feel like the flat damage reduction is pretty cool. It's been a minute since we've gotten those. Is the last one Har that got that? Maybe there's one since that, but I don't know. I just think it's neat. It's like a nice little throwback to her being an apothecary in Fates. Like she heals at the start of the turn. Who else got a refine? I swear there's a unit that I like actually use. Oh, Corrin. I don't use Corrin, but I do have quite a few copies of him. I think I held on to him for like the null follow-up fodder. His refine's fine. It makes his weapon like more usable in a meta where you don't want to be like completely solo. It's one of the few ways to get visible dodge, which I think is kind of cool. Like at start of turn, that is, other than Rock Slide Dance, obviously. And I think that's all of them, right? Oh, this is a good circle. I'm sure we'll get a Sylvain in here somewhere, right? Gosh, Mirabilis, go away. I don't need you. I was thinking about if I want to give Mirror Trace 4 to anyone, but honestly I was looking through my units and pretty much every melee cav flyer that I have either has a Earth B skill or Canto in their weapon already. Like all the good ones. So I guess I could give it to like regular Sylvain, but I feel like he wants let's go. Speaking of Sylvain, I feel like regular Sylvain more wants like the absolute burn build with the devotion axe and the flared sparrow and assassin strike. I feel like that could absolutely like melt people. I have all the pieces for it, just waiting for the right rearmed unit to give all the fodder to. Because I don't feel like just killing a Yunaka for nothing, you know? Alright, got our Sylvain. Oh, I just realized that if we fill this up all the way, we're still not guaranteed, like, unit that we want because he shares with Mirabilis. Okay, well, that's okay. Now, he does also have no quarter, which probably could go to quite a few units, actually, now that I think about it. But there's a chance that I give one of them to my attuned Triandra. Just in case I want to give it to more units. Not that I have one copy of Triandra like available to fodder off. I don't have any extras, but it's better than nothing. And honestly, Triandra herself is kind of an impressive combat unit with like the burn damage that she can do herself, and also like her attack and speed are surprisingly good for a dancer. I feel like she gets overshadowed by Peony a lot, but her effects are also really good. Her speed and defense condition is a lot more lenient than Peony's attack and speed buffing, because it's 3 rows or 3 columns for Triandra, whereas Peony has to be in a cardinal direction. Also, I double checked and I actually had, I could get to a +6 Sylvain, so with that one we're at 7. Honestly, if we somehow got to +10 with this many orbs, that'd be just... like, there's no way that should even be possible, right? I mean... well... there's no way that should be possible, right? There's no way. No plus attack, but this is my like 4th plus speed, which is still very good. Okay, we have 55 orbs left. Can we get 2 more Sylvain? Can we get 2 more Sylvain? I just have like the nuttiest luck I've ever had. You know what? It's a reward for how bad my Ulm summons went. I think I literally pulled like 4 or 5 Rudolph, who's blue, by the way, when I'm sniping green, which I feel like should say all that it needs to. On a banner with 4% focus. This Lysithia, or Philadelphia. Lysithia, alright. 2 blue, nice, nice. I wonder if Mira wasn't sharing, if I would have more or less Sylvain. Silas. I give some love to my Silas. He hasn't seen any arrogance in like several years. I think I was like too stingy to even give him steady stance. Sturdy stance. The defense +8 one that Surtur has. Bring names is people's names, skills names, like anything. In 1 ear, up next. No blues on this one, but what if we got a Chloe? Huh? Did I do that? I didn't mean to do that. Oh, okay, she's plus speed. Yeah, sure. I mean, I will not complain. Awesome. That's crazy. Yeah, I should record all of my summoning sessions, I guess. Yeah, we're getting low, but okay, because Mordecai is here to see us to the end, right? Got enough for probably a few more circles. Okay. I guess, do I go for Fram now? Yes. It's not gonna be Fram. Arthur. Man, when the game came out, they were just like, yeah, you can draw them however you want. So funny. Really? I feel like it's been a minute since we've had a unit with like bad art, you know? Like Summer Sheeta. Sheeta was kind of interesting. The eyes were quite right, I feel like. Trying to think. Oh, for some reason, I personally, I don't think it's like bad, but I personally did not like the desert Byleth. Male Byleth. Something about his collar, like the way that it was drawn, it just didn't look right to me. I don't know. Not a fan. This is probably our last orb here, so it'd be sick if we could get one last one for the road. Sylvain. Please? Okay. Well. I mean, technically. Have 8. This last one. Last orb. This one will be our Sylvain. Getting us to +9. Okay, or not. It's fine. Alright, I mean, that's a long banner. Maybe I'll accumulate enough orbs later to get him to +10, because we actually got crazy close. I don't know, I haven't fully decided if I want to feed one of them to my attuned Priandra, or just go all in on him at this point since we're so close. But yeah, if you made it this far into the video, thanks for watching. Hang out in the Discord, comment, like, whatever, do whatever you want. Honestly, I don't care. You have to watch me ever again. You watched this far, so why not sub? Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time, if there is a next time. Bye.